Good day again. This one is a follow up to Con Ed. Three things that we need to address. How do you handle an open house from the company perspective? Or even what about when I'm out of town and I need to have a sub to show homes to my buyer whom I represent? And what's a company position on a power of attorney? So, hi guys, Darwin Conley, Director of Agent Development for HRC Realty Professionals. Let's attack those three things. First, we have to know the terms of the settlement that put us in the position that we are. So I'm going to speak as clear as possible to the terms and the words that the settlement used. Bottom line is it says that an agent working with a buyer touring homes must have an agreement prior to touring any home. That means before you let them in the door, you got to have an agreement. Now, those are the specific terms. What does that mean? Well, it says this. If I'm holding an open house and I represent the seller, I do not need to have an agreement with this buyer. I can simply allow them to come through the open house. So, what if I'm holding an open house? I'm not the listing agent, therefore I am not the designated agent. Therefore, option number one, you're not there representing the seller. If we do nothing, I'm not there representing the seller. Therefore, prior to allowing anybody to come through, they must sign an agreement. Seems like a difficult proposition, or we're going to run in some things that we don't want to run into, or establish bad relations with somebody right up front because of what a bunch of attorneys and the DOJ have done. So what's the logical thing to do where we stand as of today? It would be to appoint the agent who's going to hold it open as a designated agent of that seller. And gang, I don't care if it's for that day or if it's for the life. We all know that once you've been designated, your agency really doesn't change, but that would be the safe way to be able to do it. So, I'm going to leave it at that. That's a safe way. Now, let's put it on the other shoe. I have a buyer and I'm going to go head to Florida for 2 weeks. Obviously, I can't show homes from Florida and Michigan. What do? Well, what I do is I find a substitute who could show my buyer, whom I represent, who I'm designated to represent. I would find an agent who could do this for me. What do you think you're going to have to do? Do they sign an agreement also? Guys, we're a designated agency and company, and just like we just discussed with the open house, guess what? If we're going to do it right, we would sign, or let me rephrase that, we would designate an agent to represent our buyer. Don't care if it's for the 2 weeks you're gone, but technically, that's what we would do. So there is a simple form in the Michigan Association of Realtor Library, top of the list pretty much, called Acknowledgement of Change of Designated Agent / Supervisory Broker. Simple form just states that we're going to designate this agent in addition to, so simple form that can be done. We're going to leave it at that. Take a look at that form, and that really does explain how this system works. Now, the next thing I mentioned to you was an update to the listing contract. Yes, guys, little thing had changed from what we did originally based off of Michigan Association of Realtors listing agreement. Um, that change will be coming. Any changes, you probably won't even notice it. But we will be getting that out there. That was a point that was brought up by Jack. And then the last thing I want to hit you on today is power of attorney. What is the company position with our realtors, we as agents within HRC Realty Professionals? What's the company position? Don't do it. Jack emphasized it. I want to make mention, we don't do it. We do not accept the responsibility of a power of attorney for buyers or sellers or anyone else that we might be acting on behalf of. We don't want to drag ourselves or the company into the responsibility that comes with holding that document, the power of attorney. So that brings some clarity. I hope, again, if you have any questions, you'll call me. But otherwise, that should bring what we're looking for. And we got one more of these that when you get a moment, take a look at that. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.